Hi class, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about lesson 4, which is research and Prezi. So we'll go ahead and click on our lesson 4 folder. We'll start by looking at the overview. Okay, so with this lesson, we're going to, I'm going to ask you guys to research how the world and specific parts of the world were affected during World War I. And to ensure that you guys are visiting credible websites, I will provide a list of websites that I would recommend that you look at. However, if you find information on another website that is still credible and you're feeling like you want to go with some of that information, I definitely am more than okay with that. I just thought I would throw in some websites that you could definitely check out that would have some good information on there. So after conducting your research, you'll be expected to complete the homework assignment for this week's lesson. And the objectives for this lesson is that the students will be able to conduct their own research. So some I can statements that we'll hopefully be able to say are: I can use books and websites to find information I am looking for. I can identify a credible source versus one that isn't. And I can conduct research on a specific topic. So we want you to be able to meet those requirements by the end of this lesson. And right here are the recommended websites I talked about: FactMonster, Newsela, Kiddle, and InfoTrek. So these are all some good student-friendly websites that you can visit. But again, feel free to look at other credible websites that you think would be good for this assignment. So let's go look at those assignment requirements. So right here we have our lesson 4, assignment 1, the Prezi. So again, after conducting your research about how the world or specific parts of the world were affected by the war, you will be asked to create a Prezi. You will be expected to take information you found during your research and create a Prezi presentation to relay the information you have learned. Be sure to conduct research on the specific topic and select the important information to be put into the Prezi presentation. Once finished, submit the link to your Prezi in the comment box below. So that's right here as always. And let's go back up here. So if you don't know what Prezi is, it's pretty much just a presentation application, kind of like PowerPoint, but it's a little bit more interactive and fun. So if you're not familiar with it, I did attach a video right here. It gives a nice tutorial, and I think that you'll really enjoy using it. I think it's a lot more fun than the typical PowerPoint or Google Slides. And so we can go ahead and take a look at my example for how your Prezi should kind of look, but obviously I want everyone to take their own creative take on things, but this is just what I came up with. So something along these lines would be good. So we'll just wait for this to load here. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the sequence of World War I. So I'll go to my first little slide here and it will zoom in on this bubble, and I'm going to talk about political change. So talk about the Treaty of Versailles, Russian Revolution. I have a nice picture in here that just kind of adds to the video, or to my Prezi, excuse me. And then next we will go to my third slide, which again just jumps over to this next bubble. I'm going to talk about the economical change that some of the countries experienced after World War I. And then I have another picture there. And then here I'll just talk about some social change issues. And then it'll just zoom back out, and it'll be a nice overview of my entire Prezi presentation. So that's kind of just what yours should roughly look like. Again, there's different designs, fonts, use different pictures, different topics. This is really up to you, and there's a lot of freedom in this assignment, which I think you'll enjoy. So we can go back, and then let's look at the rubric so that you understand what you're expected to complete while making these Prezis. So again, you don't need to fill any of this out. That's for me when I'm grading things. So let's look at the criteria. Okay, so the first criteria right here, the Prezi is easy to read, text is summarized, and well thought out. So for all 5 points, you meet all these expectations. For only half the points, you'll meet some of them, and for none of the points, you don't meet any of these. So pretty much just that you're being smart with your layout, your font, your text size, and that you're not inserting huge long paragraphs. It should be fairly summarized and to the point, but also that your information is well thought out and it's not just thrown together. Our second evaluation criteria is right here. So the information presented follows the instructions, is correct, well written, and contains no grammatical errors. So again, 5 points, you meet everything. Half the points, you just meet some of them. No points, you didn't meet any of them. So with this, I'm just going to ask that you make sure when you're doing your research that everything's correct, credible. I, again, provided you with that list of websites, which that's a good place to start, but I also do trust that you know how to conduct your own research. So make sure that when you are putting all this information into your presentation that it is correct, because if not, you will be getting points off for that. And also making sure it's well written, no grammatical errors. I think at this point you all understand what is required of you with that in terms of that. Sorry, I'm messing up here. Okay, and then our third evaluation criteria, path moves logically from one idea to the next, ideas build on each other, and ideas are grouped in a way that makes sense. So with this, I don't just want random things like maybe like your first bubble slide, like talking about specific wars, and then you jump to like food issues, and then you jump back to the cause of the World War I. So just making sure that things are happening chronologically, it makes sense, it flows, and you'll pretty much be able to get all those points if you can do those. If it's kind of wishy-washy, you'll get half the points, and if it's just kind of a mess and doesn't flow at all, then you will get none of those points. And then our last one right here, the evaluation criteria 4. You have an effective use of at least 2 images, videos, or links to enhance and support the content. So as you saw in mine, I included 2 pictures that just kind of added to the presentation. You're more than welcome to add videos or links to different websites. So again, for all the points, you'll have both of those expectations, both 2 of them. And then for half the points, you'll probably just have 1. And then for none of the points, you won't have any links, images, videos, anything like that. So there's 4 evaluation criteria sections for 5 points. So that'll be 20 points possible. And we'll go back to our lesson 4 folder. I think that is actually all we have for lesson 4, but if anyone has any questions, as always, feel free to contact me.